And I am going to tell you right now that you are wrong. Well, you are partially right. That explains why it is not daytime, but it does not explain why the sky itself, the fabric of the universe, is black. Think about it. If you go out into the deep ocean and look at the water, it is dark. But if you look up at the sun, it is bright. Now imagine the universe. For hundreds of years, astronomers believed two absolute truths. First, the universe is infinite. It goes on forever. Second, the universe is filled with stars, scattered everywhere like raisins in a pudding. So here is the setup. We have an infinite universe, and we have an infinite number of stars. Now I want you to perform a terrifying little experiment in your head. Imagine you are standing in the middle of a thick, infinite forest. Everywhere you look, you see trees. Look straight ahead, you hit a tree trunk. Look a little to the right, you gaze past the first tree, but 10 miles away, you hit another tree. If the forest is truly infinite, then no matter where you look, your line of sight must eventually hit wood. There are no gaps. The entire horizon is a solid wall of trees. Now replace the trees with bright burning stars. If the universe is infinite, every single line of sight from your eye must eventually end on the surface of a star. Every single point in the sky should be filled with light. You should not see any black. The entire dome of the night sky should be a solid sheet of blinding light, glowing with the same intensity as the surface of the sun. This isn't a guess. It is a mathematical certainty. If the universe is infinite and static, the night sky should be blindingly white. It should be so bright that it would boil the Earth's oceans and melt the rocks. We would be cooked alive in seconds inside a global oven. But you look up, and what do you see? You see darkness. This contradiction is called Olber's paradox. It is a terrible problem because it tells us that one of our fundamental assumptions about the universe is dead wrong. Nature is screaming at us. She is saying, look at the dark. The dark means something. The dark tells us that the universe cannot be infinite, old, and static all at the same time. Now you might try to wiggle out of it. You might say, well, maybe the stars far away are just too dim to see. We call this the inverse square law. If you move a light twice as far away, it looks 1/4 as bright. So you think the distant stars are just too faint. I say to you, no, that does not save you. Let me explain with simple geometry. Imagine a shell of space around Earth, 1 billion miles away. It holds 10 stars. Now go twice as far out. The stars there are 4 times dimmer, yes, but the shell is 4 times bigger, so it holds 4 times as many stars. The dimming effect is completely canceled out by the number of stars. Each layer of the universe adds the exact same amount of light to our sky. If the universe is infinite, we are adding up infinite layers of light. The math says the sky should be infinite brightness. So we are stuck. We have proof the sky should be on fire, but we see it is black. Is the universe empty? Is there dust blocking the light? Or is it something much stranger, something to do with time. Before we unravel this mystery, if you love questioning reality, hit that subscribe button right now. You do not want to miss the truth. For almost 100 years, astronomers thought the answer was dust. They said, the universe is infinite, but dust clouds block the distant starlight, just like fog blocks headlights. It makes sense, right? Wrong. There is a law in physics you can never break, the law of conservation of energy. Energy cannot be destroyed. If a dust cloud blocks starlight, it absorbs that energy. It gets hot. Over billions of years, that dust would heat up until it glowed exactly as bright as the stars behind it. You would just replace a wall of stars with a wall of glowing dust. You are still dead. You are still boiled alive. So the dust theory fails. This forces us to face a frightening possibility. Maybe the reason we do not see the light from the infinite distance is because the light has not arrived yet. Maybe the universe isn't a static thing that has been here forever. Maybe the universe has a birthday. In 1848, a man named Edgar Allan Poe, yes, the horror writer, guessed the answer. He wasn't a scientist, but he had intuition. He wrote that the only reason the sky is dark is because the distance to the background stars is so immense that no ray of light from them has been able to reach us at all. The light has not reached us yet. This changes the problem from space to time. Think about a slow mail system. If the world was created yesterday, you might get a letter from your neighbor, but you won't get a letter from the other side of the world. It's on its way, but it hasn't arrived. Light has a speed limit, 186,000 miles per second. That is fast, but it is not infinite. We know the universe began roughly 13.8 billion years ago. That means we can only see stars whose light has had 13.8 billion years to travel to us. If there is a star 100 billion light years away, it is burning bright, but its light is still traveling through the dark. To us, it doesn't exist yet. We are trapped in a bubble of time. So the sky is dark because the universe is young. We haven't been around long enough for the sky to fill up with light. That accounts for about 90% of the darkness. But nature has one more trick up her sleeve. The universe isn't just sitting there aging, it is running away from us. Edwin Hubble discovered that the universe is expanding. Space itself is stretching. Now, what happens to light when it travels through stretching space? Think of a siren on a passing ambulance. As it moves away, the pitch drops. The sound waves get stretched out. Light is a wave too. When a star moves away, or when the space between us stretches, the light wave gets pulled apart. It gets longer. Blue light becomes red light. Red light becomes infrared. Infrared becomes radio waves. Here is the physics. Longer waves carry less energy. As the universe expands, it steals energy from the light. It cools it down. So imagine a distant star shining as bright as the sun. By the time its light travels through billions of years of stretching space, that light has been shifted into invisible infrared or radio waves. Our eyes cannot see them. The star is there, but the expansion of the universe has turned its light into a ghost. So we have two reasons. The universe is young, so the light hasn't arrived. The universe is expanding, so the light that does arrive is too weak to see. But wait, I just said the light gets shifted into invisible waves. That implies something incredible. It implies the sky is not actually dark. It implies that if we had different eyes that could see microwaves, the sky would be a blazing wall of fire. And that is the final twist. Olbers was right all along. The sky is bright. Every single point in the sky is pouring energy down on you right now. Go back to the Big Bang. It wasn't an explosion in space. It was an explosion of space. The early universe was a hot soup of white-hot plasma. It glowed everywhere. That light is still here. It fills the universe. But because the universe has expanded by a factor of 1100 since then, that blinding white light has been stretched into microwaves. If you were a creature made of radio antennas, you would look up at night and see a glowing wall of light. There would be no darkness. The entire sky is glowing with the heat of the Big Bang. We call this the cosmic microwave background. So, Olbers said the sky should be bright, and nature says, yes, it is bright, but I will expand space to stretch that light until it is so weak and cool that you can live safely in the darkness. The darkness is just the trick of our eyes. We are blind to the real fire. So the next time you look up at the black velvet sky, remember, you are standing inside a microwave oven. But luckily, the door is open and the power is turned down very low. This darkness is the reason you are alive. To exist, we need a hot sun and a cold sky. We need a place to dump our waste heat. If the sky were white hot, the universe would be dead. The expansion of the universe is the refrigerator that keeps us from cooking. We asked a silly question. Why is it dark? And we found the secret of creation. The dark is not empty. The dark is the history of the Big Bang, quieted by the expansion of space. If your mind was blown by this, you need to watch our next video, where we ask, can the universe shrink back down? Click here to find out, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.